rope ladder 300 feet in the air while giant bees swarm around you. That's just another day at the office for Asia's traditional honey hunters.
Hold on, you're telling me people actually do this? What drives someone to take on that kind of risk?
Well, these aren't just any bees, we're talking about Apis dorsata, massive colonies that build nests spanning up to 6 feet wide under towering cliffs. The honey they produce is so unique and valuable that communities have developed incredibly sophisticated harvesting techniques passed down through generations.
That's fascinating. How exactly do they manage to harvest without getting killed by these aggressive bees?
So here's where it gets really interesting. They've mastered this intricate nighttime ritual using handmade rope ladders and special smoke mixtures. The smoke actually disrupts the bees' communication systems, making them less likely to attack. But timing is everything. They have to consider moon phases, weather patterns, even the flowering cycles of local plants.
Hmm. Sounds like there's some serious traditional knowledge at play here.
Oh, you have no idea. These honey hunters are like walking encyclopedias of ecological wisdom. They can read subtle changes in weather patterns, understand complex bee behavior, and get this, some of them can even predict colony movements based on flowering patterns up to months in advance.
That's incredible. But what makes this honey so special that it's worth all this effort?
Well, studies have shown that this wild honey contains up to 67 different compounds not found in commercial honey. And in some regions, particularly Nepal, certain varieties actually contain natural compounds that can produce psychoactive effects. They call it mad honey because the bees collect nectar from specific rhododendron species containing granutoxins.
So, what you're saying is these honey hunters are basically extreme athletes and botanists rolled into one?
Exactly. And here's what's really fascinating. Research has shown that these traditional honey hunting communities have maintained stable bee populations for centuries, while commercial beekeeping areas often struggle with colony collapse. They never harvest more than 80% of any nest's honey, ensuring the colony's survival.
That's remarkable conservation knowledge. But how are these traditions holding up in the modern world?
Well, that's where things get complicated. Climate change has shifted flowering patterns by up to 3 weeks in some regions, disrupting traditional harvesting calendars. And studies show that about 40% fewer young people are learning these skills compared to just 2 decades ago.
Sounds like these communities are facing some serious challenges.
You know what's encouraging though? Some regions have developed innovative solutions. Like in certain parts of Nepal, they've created honey hunting tourism programs that generate up to $50,000 annually for local communities while preserving traditional practices.
That's a creative way to adapt. What other modern adaptations are you seeing?
So, get this, some communities are now using drones to scout new nest locations, combining ancient knowledge with modern technology. They're also forming cooperatives to market their honey internationally, with some varieties selling for up to $180 per pound in specialty markets.
Seems like they're finding ways to bridge the traditional and modern worlds.
Exactly. And here's what makes this so significant. These communities are showing us how traditional ecological knowledge can actually offer solutions to modern environmental challenges. Their sustainable harvesting methods have maintained healthy bee populations for centuries in areas where commercial beekeeping often fails.
That really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
It really does. And you know what's most powerful about this whole story? These honey hunters aren't just preserving a tradition, they're protecting crucial ecological knowledge that could help us understand how to better coexist with nature. In a world facing massive pollinator decline, their insights could be more valuable than ever.
Well, that certainly gives me a new appreciation for honey.
And maybe next time we complain about our jobs, we should remember at least we're not hanging from a cliff face surrounded by giant angry bees.